To add to that this club has always used this competition for their academy players as well. So for the non-starters and the academy players, this felt to me as the right decision. But and I haven't changed my opinion about that after the results, because with our starters we haven't been able to win a lot from Palace as well.
We lose to Palace as well with the first team.
Before I went out, I saw City's lineup, and I don't think they had one starter from the weekend. But it felt as if you look at their lineup, they played with their 11 starters.
Against Swansea.
So maybe it also gives a little bit of an insight.
An insight into what exactly? They're against Swansea. But secondly, if you look at the lineup, they did the right thing. They mixed the youngsters and the rotational squad amongst first-team established stars. Omar Mamouche up front. Jeremy Doku, maybe the most impressive performer on the left wing. Ryan Cherki, a full-blown international, number 10 at 10. Oscar Bob, he plays constantly for the first team. Nico Gonzalez, similar. Ait Nouri, the big money left-back signing. Nathan Ake, first team. Kusanov, first team. Lewis, more or less first team. Trafford, he's a Premier League standing goalkeeper. That lineup is nothing similar whatsoever to Liverpool's lineup. I'm sorry, first of all, that comment is, utterly bizarre. But we're going to go into it. Is it fair, what he said, right? And there's reasonings behind both ways. Was it a good squad selection? Was it a terrible squad selection? I'm going to go into detail, the pros and the cons, and why this weekend is bigger than ever. Because if you compare that City lineup to what he put out, Chiesa, a last 10-minute sub. McAllister, off form, out of fitness, but an established starter. Fair enough. Ngumoha should be in the rotation for starting, but never plays. And Nyoni never plays. Morrison's not even in the first team squad, even though he's unwell in the under-21s this season. Kirkes, our first choice left back. Robertson, a backup left back playing at centre back. Gomez, he never plays Gomez. Wataru Endo, he never plays Wataru Endo, which is one of the reasons why we keep losing, because last season Endo came on to close up shop. We don't even have a lead this season. Calvin Ramsey, out of the blue coming in. Freddie Woodman, third choice. That lineup is nothing like City's lineup, so there's no excuses to say we saw City's lineup and it was unrecognisable. It's not the same, and especially because City's bench, let me take a few snapshots back here. Let's have a look at City's bench, their insurance policy to make sure that they can win this match. Savinho, Gvardiol, Foden, Donnarumma, Matheus Nunes, Nico O'Reilly, Calvin Phillips, John Stones. They have enough firepower there, especially with Phil Foden and Savinho, to win the game. They have enough defensive quality and experience to win the game. And you compare it with our bench, right? We don't even have a first team player on the bench. Amaranallo, Wellerty Lucky, Laffy, Gordon, Figueroa, Pilling, Pinnington, Pekshi, Kondokhty. If you ask the fans who turned up there, even the diehard fans who turned up there, and fans paid their money at Anfield to see a Liverpool team, and they might have only got this cup round to enjoy, they might not even recognise half the names there. I recognise every name there, obviously. I'm a massive Liverpool fan, as are you guys, I presume. But yeah, well off the pace, and we threw in the towel before the game started. Now, we played well on patches, and Ngumoha, a constant threat, which is why he should start. So game intelligent, can make something out of nothing, and that was more or less Crystal Palace's first team, right? That they had every big player there. Gray, Lacroix, Hughes, Kamada, Munoz, Sarr, Pino, even Nketiah, right? Mateta came on 46 minutes. Jeremy Lerma came on 74 minutes. They had a quality squad. And once again, we got done in by the second ball. A lofted ball. We lose the second ball in and amongst the penalty area. Sarr takes it down, slots it past Freddie Woodman. 1-0 down. The second was a thing of beauty. And the third one, Amaranallo, unfortunately, he's not going to live up to his hype as a wonder kid. He's been in torrid form for maybe 2 seasons now. So the same mistakes are still there. We've lost to Crystal Palace 3 times now, Community Shield, in the Premier League, and got battered at home in Anfield. Now, some might say this is unacceptable, but there's perspective here, okay? Arne Slot said, we don't take this cup seriously, we play the youngsters. We always should take the cup seriously. It's a piece of silverware, it's a trophy. You remember Jurgen Klopp's historic quadruple chase where we lost 1 match for the Premier League and we lost 1 match for the Champions League in the final again. The season was saved and the celebrations were awry because we won 2 cups. We won the FA Cup and the Carabao EFL Cup. Celebrations ahoy. You never throw in the towel here. Even having the seniors on the bench gives inspiration that we can turn it around, right? 1-0 down, 2-0 down, still can turn it around potentially with players on the bench. They haven't burned themselves out because it's only October. It's only October and a world-class professionals. Now, I appreciate we have a super, super hard fixture list coming up. We really, really do. Which is why I say the proof will be in the pudding of the next round of fixtures. Now, who do Liverpool actually play in the next round of fixtures? I think we have Aston Villa on the weekend, we have Real Madrid, and we have Manchester City, right? A torrid run of fixtures, especially when we come in with bad form. So, perfectly A-OK with resting the whole first team lineup, the whole first team squad. Wirtz has a rest, Ekitike has a rest, Van Dijk and Konate finally have a rest as well. Our left back options, none of them got a rest. None of them got a rest. Our right back, Connor Bradley, gets a rest. Soboslai definitely needed a rest. Gravenberch, hopefully he heals in time, as does Curtis Jones. They got a rest as well. Isaac should be fit and ready and raring to go. But they weren't even making the bench. And a 45-minute spell wouldn't have tired them out against Aston Villa. So now he and we and Liverpool, Arne Slot and the players and the club, the entity, have no excuse. They've had a full week off to prepare, to rest against Aston Villa. They didn't even have to make the trip to Anfield for moral support. If we do not beat Aston Villa, this is a full-blown crisis. Forget 4 losses in the Premier League. That'll be 5 losses in the Premier League. And 5 or 6 losses in 7? There or thereabouts. Something like that. So the proof will be in the pudding. He has prioritised the Premier League, maybe rightfully so in some people's eyes. But if the players don't perform and we don't squeak out a result against Aston Villa, and it can't be a draw, it has to be a win, then huge question marks will be asked of sacrificing the cup round, the last 8. Because look at the other clubs. Newcastle made it through. Man City made it through. Chelsea made it through. Arsenal made it through. The big teams have made it through and they're competing for silverware. Now, is this the long game where we're not running with intensity and added pile up of fixtures for the opposition clubs? No, because we're way behind the race because we keep losing games. Are we getting battered? We got battered last week by Brentford. We absolutely got battered. It was a shit show. No way of hiding it. We deserved to lose and we should have lost by more, even. Outplayed by Brentford. Now, he's got to show the tactics and the caliber of manager that helped him win the Premier League last season, because he gets credit in the bank and he gets full credit. Nothing to do with Jurgen Klopp's team or none of that malarkey. He trains them week in, week out. Okay, this is not a hit piece. This is a channel with substance and abundance, and we do the tactical analysis. Now, our players who showed themselves well in this cup fixture. Ngumoha, incredible. Chiesa plucked away in an unfavoured centre-forward role because he prefers to play in the wings. Look at his interviews at Juve. He prefers to come in from out wide, but he can do a job up front. His touch, silky. He tried to do it on his own. For all the absolute tosh and garbage in other Liverpool YouTube channels and other fan YouTube channels who want to criticise Joe Gomez and Endo, right? When they come in out of the blue and start on the odd occasion or come in 10-minute, 15-minute cameo and say they're not up to par, look what happens when on the pitch. Behave. You're garbage. The opinions are garbage. As a player, Arne Slot, Jurgen Klopp, Arrigo Sacchi, every manager worth the salt, Mourinho, Conte, they say the same thing. You need rhythm. You need muscle memory. You need that spring in your step, that activeness to get in and amongst them and show your form. And you also need to be playing amongst the first team. Harvey Elliott playing with the first team can show his caliber. Harvey Elliott playing amongst the youngsters cannot do much. Endo cannot do much against the youngsters. He's not the type of player who lifts you up. If you want an individual showster who can absolutely do magic, then that's Lamine Yamal, that's Lionel Messi, even Ronaldo without service. Let's see what he can do when he's with a bunch of youngsters, right? Cristiano Ronaldo, obviously. Ronaldo Nazario would just win the game himself. He's that good. So, any discredit to our players who coming out of the blue, like Wataru Endo, Wataru Man Mountain and the Big E, Joe Gomez, absolute garbage opinion. And I don't know why people watch channels like that. They're Liverpool players coming on to give their all and try to guide the youngsters through the cup phases. You can't come in out of the blue and expect rhythm performance, 8 or 9 out of 10 performances. Especially someone like Joe Gomez with injury niggles as well. He has to play consistently, trust his body, get that sharp match reaction to prod a toe in. One misstep, one late challenge, as Virgil van Dijk knows in the last few weeks, you give away a penalty or you get a red card. You can't come in out of the blue. So no discredit whatsoever. They're squad players. Excuse them what. And they're doing their absolute best for Liverpool as well. In the midfield, McAllister still off the paces, but gaining vital match fitness. And Nyoni in and out of the squad as well. Can't be expected to pick it up himself. Morrison, floated about. He's obviously not a first team caliber player at the moment, but he's doing great things. He's slightly above under 21 level as well. Milos Kerkez and Andy Robertson, a double of a left back. in the back five. Still can't keep Ismaila Sarr out. He still scores against us. Is at 4 goals in 3 games now. Terrifying. Sadio Mane was right. Ismaila Sarr will absolutely rip us apart. So Sadio Mane will help Andy Robertson contain him, and he did. And without Sadio Mane, we're getting ripped apart. We need to bring back Sadio Mane. El Toro, we need him. The Raging Bull. In fact, his performances right now might be better than Mo Salah, but that's a different conversation altogether. He's got different attributes. Okay, so we now have our first choice, first team lineup fit and raring to go for Aston Villa. I've always been of the generation that you fight for every single cup and every single match, even with an insurance policy. You had to start the starters, try to win. If we're going to lose, bring on the youngsters, fine, throw away it, we've lost. If we're thereabouts, 1-0 down, maybe 2-0 down, but you feel as though we have something to gain out of the match, put the senior players on the bench, onto the pitch. He's gone with the youngsters. Now the senior players have nowhere to hide. He has the full squad that he's assembled with 400 million in the summer. By he, I mean Arne Slot, FSG, Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes. Less so because Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards have done the job to bring the players that we needed in. Obviously, Mark Guay fell through, but nobody in a right mind goes, oh, we absolutely need a centre-back. Let's commit 5 million, 10 million more and ensure we get the... No club, unless you're money bags, dirt, oil, whatever, or government run, will do that, ever. So forget it. Stop playing the blame game and saying we should have prioritised a centre-back. We did. We had Mark Guay in a bag for a great value deal, and Palace pulled the plug last minute even after he's had a medical. Okay? So you're not throwing an extra 10 million away for nothing. Think how happy we were to get 10 million off Trent for the fact that he was only going to play a few minutes here or there in the World Club Cup Championship. 10 million is a lot of money. Okay, so it never happens like that. And Giovanni Leone, let's talk about injuries. He would have come into the squad. He would have come into his lineup. He looked epic. He could have even replaced Iwu Konate on occasion in the Premier League to fight against the long ball, to be a hard nut, to lead by example, to put his head where it hurts, to distribute from the back. It's so unfortunate ACL because it has absolutely unbalanced our squad, and now we're relying on Endo and Gravenberch as a utility fourth centre-back. And for some reason, Slot doesn't trust Gomez, even though Gomez played pretty darn well in this match. In fact, our youngsters all played well. They were plucky, they showed fighting spirit and commitment, but this was Palace's first team, and our first team can't even beat them. But they were thereabouts, and we didn't concede as early. So credit to the boys for trying, credit to the fans for supporting, and apologies all the way around that, you know, what can you do with that lineup against a strong Crystal Palace lineup? And Crystal Palace can beat anyone on the day. People who talk about confidence, playing the first team boys, winning at home, breaking the losing streak, breaking the loss against Brentford again. It's not about confidence. He's now rested the boys. Arne Slot complains about fixture pile up and, you know, fitness and how many games we have to play every 3 days. That's perfectly fine. The proof will be in the pudding against Aston Villa. If we come out of this run of games against City, Villa and Real Madrid with 2 wins out of the 3, then he's probably justified. And he needs to win the big trophies because he won the biggest trophy last season in the Premier League, even though I would argue I like the Champions League more. It's more prestigious in Europe. 7 stars on the chest would look very, very good. But yes, let's see the lineup against Aston Villa. Let's see against Mr. Good Evening, Unai Emery. Can we turn them up? We usually play quite well against Aston Villa and we match up well against them. I don't want no Watkins dodgy goal, Buendia goal, McGinn goal in the opening 5 minutes, opening 10 minutes. I want a dominant performance from Liverpool, showing we mean business, that we're fresh and fit and contest and fight and push and pressure and harry the ball, but especially the second ball, the junk balls that get tossed up and on the bounce, on the second ball, we're thereabouts scrapping for the ball. On current performances, Ngumoha deserves to be in a rotation with Cody Gakpo because, my goodness, he's way too good not to be playing. He creates something out of nothing. He's game intelligent. He holds the ball up and he connects the play and passes as well. The constant conversation between Robertson and Kirkus. Sure, let's start Robertson and let's see what happens there. What can we do about injuries? Leone is out injured, right? Gravenberch and Curtis Jones need to prove their fitness for the weekend. Frimpong is out injured. He was never injured before joining Liverpool. Unfortunately, hamstrings and muscular injuries. Isaac was injured before Liverpool, groin injury. Hope he overcomes that. But even in the limited performances and viewing and limited full athletic fitness of Alexander Isak, you see some class there. That assist to Cody Gakpo, the step overs, the footwork, the movement in the box. He's class and he will prove to be a good buy, even 125 million, which is overpriced for any player. But we have him in the squad and we needed strikers. In fact, we probably needed another winger in the summer, having let go of Luis Diaz, who was our out-and-out left wing first choice ahead of Cody Gakpo and ahead of Jota and Nunez as a centre forward. And we didn't really replace that profile of a left winger, but Ekitike and Isak is a good start. But we do look slightly bare, not in midfield. Forget that 6 conversation. As I mentioned time and time again, nobody is displacing Gravenberch in the 6 for Arne Slot. Not Wharton, not even Pedri or Zubimendi or anyone like that, or Elliot Anderson, okay? So forget that notion. We were missing a winger and a centre-back, and that's potentially it. And if you're talking about wingers and a Cody Gakpo winger, I would argue the Mo Salah replacement was more important, because you've seen Salah's performances this season. And once again, it's not about Mo Salah. It's on Arne Slot playing Mo Salah without a system to fit Mo Salah. If you play Mo Salah and you want to win the game, you design a system around Mo Salah, which means it doesn't matter whether your name is Florian Wirtz, Alexander Isak, or Hugo Ekitike, or Szoboszlai, Conor Bradley, or Frimpong. You build the system so that Ekitike drops it into the 10th position, into the top of the diamond, so Salah has the freedom to roam in that inside forward position near the penalty box area. You put in an attacking fullback who can do the running and be the legs, and a right-sided 8 who can do the running and be the legs in and around Mo Salah, so he doesn't have to run. He doesn't have to run to chase the ball. He doesn't have to run to beat a man or dribble. That you create the chaos and the space in and around him to give him the time to thrive, because he needs that time, because he's got a really big arc of operation, which means that he needs a lot of space to do his thing. He can't beat a man standing up. He can't beat a man around the outside, but he can deliver. If you play Gakpo and Salah together, Gakpo is never assisting to Salah. He's not floating a ball back there to Salah. He's not smashing the ball with the left foot across to Salah. He's not pinpoint through ball, playing Salah in and goal. It's not happening unless you've got a very, very lucky transition, because Gakpo messes up the transition as well. So Gakpo to Salah is nil. Nil point. No points. No point in doing it if you expect Gakpo to assist Salah. But Salah can assist Gakpo when he's got space, when the players operate around him and you build a system around Salah, if he actually passes the ball and slides the ball across on the perpendicular diagonal to Gakpo to finish at the back post. We saw it against Man United, was it? And we saw it against Manchester City. Against Manchester City last season. Great opening goal. But Salah's lost this yard. He's lost that confidence. He's lost his mojo, and he's making bad decisions. So only Salah will assist Gakpo if he's on form, if he's scoring goals, and he's happy to pass the buck and give the ball, through ball, to Cody Gakpo as well. Can Salah facilitate Ekitike and Isak? Yet to be seen. Hasn't done it yet. Wirtz is looking more likely to do it. So the real way to build a squad is to build a squad around Ekitike backwards, is Ekitike, Isak or Wirtz for the future. And also, they're better than Salah right now. They are. Even Bukayo Saka is better than Salah right now. But you can't build around all of them. You have to build around one of them. You either build it around Wirtz and you do everything that I mentioned for Salah, for Florian Wirtz, give him the legs, give him the movement, give him the 2 defensive midfielders to build around him, give him the, not inside forwards to take up his space, but legitimate wingers who stretch the play so he can do that. A player in the wide areas like Alex Grimaldo who can pick him out in the pockets. A deep line playmaker like Alexis McAllister, or even Wataru Endo who can do a line splitting ball to a forward 10 Mazzala position. You need to build around a particular player with a vision in mind. If you're building around Isak, you give him delivery, you flash balls across the box. Jacob Murphy, right? Or Anthony Gordon, everyone. You need to be able to give Isak service, not lofted high balls, not to feet in front of 4 defenders with no support. You play him in behind the lines, you play him across, you pull back from the byline, you play the 1-2, you chip over the last man so he can contest it. You give him space on the left wing so he can cut inside and bend it. You give him a ball from the right hand side so he can cut inside and shoot, or go around the outside and shoot on the diagonal. You give him opportunities to show his finishing prowess and his trickery in and around the box. If you build for Hugo Ekitike, you need to allow him to link up, but then you need to hold up the ball and off the ball movement to allow his deep runs to be picked out. In that case, you need ball players who can play that ball into space in front of him when he's dropped back, which is Alexis McAllister. It used to be Harvey Elliott. It's definitely Florian Wirtz. It can be Mo Salah if Mo Salah is willing to sacrifice a pluck for the team, act with defensive responsibility, drop into the pockets, make off the ball movement to provide space for the rest of our players, and not just sit there on the right wing positionally and not move. He needs to rotate. He needs to rotate with Gakpo, with Wirtz in and amongst that line to give Hugo Ekitike the running lanes to be played through as well. And Mo Salah, when Mo Salah plays, that's the biggest issue. He's a right wing inside forward only and never rotates. He doesn't rotate into left wing. He doesn't rotate into the 10. He doesn't rotate up front, mainly because he's quite weak in those positions. So you either choose to build around Mo Salah like previous seasons and hope he comes good. You build around Isak or Wirtz or Ekitike, but you got to build around one. You can't build around all, because it's not the sum of the parts. Too many cooks ruin the broth, and that's exactly where we are at the moment. Will Slot's decision to throw away the cup, which I don't agree with, because I want to win every single competition, every single match, especially at Anfield against the hated enemy. Crystal Palace are the hated enemy right now, not giving us Mark Guehi and the opposition. You know, the opposition that seems to be doing us in with Ismail Sarr every single opportunity. Daichi Kamada and Will Hughes and Adam Morton are dominating the midfield against us. We can't get past Mark Guehi. Mark Guehi's got Salah's in the pocket. They're always doing us in. So I would have loved to turn over Crystal Palace. And everyone that saw that cup fixture come out at Anfield, we're like, yes, this is our chance for retribution, our redemption arc. But we can't do it. We've lost them 3 in a row. So Aston Villa, Real Madrid, and Manchester City. Hold your horses, boys and girls. Tuck in for a bumpy ride, because bump and ride, bump and grind, that's a different thing. We need to win, and we need to win soon. Otherwise, he will be under pressure on the slot. He won't be fired this season. He definitely won't. He's got credit in the back. He might not even be fired next season, because having given that outlay, that expenditure, 400 million in the summer, FSG and the like have identified he's the man to lead us into the golden shiny era. And I still believe he can do it. He's got enough tactical acumen, but some of the words in the media are not helping him right now. When it's pure honesty, his pure thoughts or whatever, with conviction, don't compare us to Manchester City's lineup. It's never acceptable losing at Anfield. It's never acceptable giving up a match before you started. That's Roy Hodgson-esque. I didn't expect to win that anyway when we drew or lost to Everton of all people. Yes, he's got to buck up his ideas, because the fan base is turning. I always support the manager. I'm just not supporting the tactics. I provide analysis on the facts and the real situation. I always tell it like it is. Drop a like on this video if you appreciate my honesty. Let me know your thoughts. Was it right to absolutely throw away this cup tie, to put the youngsters in with the Lions and see them get eaten alive? Was it right to prioritise the Premier League? Many pundits, Neil Atkins, for example, is a massive fan of it and says we've got to prioritise the biggest prize of the Champions League. We've got to have the first team squad fresh. We have injuries with Frimpong, with Curtis Jones, with Gravenberch, with Alisson Becker, potentially with Alexander Isak as well if his groin doesn't recover. Let me know your thoughts and comments below. Your comments help me beat the YouTube algorithm and get this channel seen. We're growing, baby. Can we get to 15k subscribers before the end of the year? I'd really appreciate it. It's almost end of October. I'm going to do the lucky wheel for the Japan kit and football kit giveaway and Japan goods for all the members. YouTube membership is the best way to support this channel. Thank you. Much love. Domo arigato gozaimasu. It means thank you. Miyazaki-man, Ichiban, Liverpool Fan Japan community. You guys are the best. Discord, I love seeing you guys chat as well. Jane means ciao.